The celestial surveyor drifted quietly through space. Its crew had been mapping stars for months. No one expected anything special in this part of the galaxy. Then their scanners picked up something new. A blue planet with signs of life. "Captain Da, we found something," said Officer Sunwoo, looking at his screen. "A planet with technology signals." Captain Da hurried over. The small blue world didn't look important. Its people had basic rockets and satellites, nothing that could travel beyond their own moon. "Send the data to Confederation headquarters," ordered Captain Da. "They will want to know about this." Far away of Confederation headquarters, 12 alien leaders met to discuss the discovery. They represented the most advanced species in known space. "Another developing world," said Counselor Yun. "We should welcome them to the galactic community." "Yes," agreed Head Counselor Chono. "We will send 12 ships to make first contact, one from each of our worlds." The aliens thought they knew everything about Earth. They were wrong. Deep in the shadow of Jupiter, the massive human ship Thermopylae waited silently. Its dark hull absorbed light rather than reflected it. No alien scan had detected it. Admiral Ju Park walked across the bridge of her ship. At 2 miles long, the Thermopylae was the largest warship humans had ever built. 6 more like it were almost finished in secret shipyards throughout the solar system. "Status report," Admiral Park said to her crew. "The alien fleet has entered the solar system," replied Commander Yuna. "They're heading straight for Earth, just as we predicted." Park nodded. 23 years ago, humans had spotted the first alien probe. Instead of announcing the discovery, Earth's nations had joined together in secret. They pooled resources and scientists to make rapid advances. "They think they're visiting a primitive world," Park said with a small smile. "Our satellites, space stations, and moon base are all they can see." What the aliens couldn't see were the gravity engines that powered human ships, or the weapons that could tear apart planets, or the stealth technology that kept the Thermopylae hidden. "The alien delegation will reach Earth orbit in 6 hours, said Lieutenant Cook at the navigation station. "Should we reveal ourselves now?" Admiral Park shook her head. "No, let them settle into orbit first. Let them think they're in control of the situation." She looked at the tactical display, showing the 12 approaching ships. Each was elegantly designed, with smooth lines and glowing engines. The aliens clearly wanted to impress Earth with their technology. "What do we know about their weapons?" Park asked her tactical officer. "Basic energy weapons. Good shields. Nothing we can't handle," replied Officer Minjin. "Their fastest ship is only half our speed." The bridge crew worked efficiently, monitoring the alien fleet. Years of training had prepared them for this moment. Humanity's first contact with alien life would not find Earth unprepared or weak. "Communications. Any broadcasts from them yet?" Park asked. "They're sending greetings in various formats," reported Communications Officer Jia. "Standard math sequences, visual symbols, and now they're trying Earth languages they've picked up from our broadcasts." Park nodded. "Let them talk. Earth's governments have already agreed to remain silent until we're ready." The Admiral walked to the large window at the front of the bridge. Jupiter loomed large behind them, its massive form helping to hide the Thermopylae from detection. "They think they're coming to guide a young species into the stars," Park said quietly. "They have no idea we've been watching them for decades." Her second-in-command, Captain Doyun, joined her at the window. "Will they see us as a threat?" "Perhaps," Park said. "But that's not our intention. We simply refuse to enter the galactic community from a position of weakness." The screen showed Earth growing larger in the alien ship's viewports. The blue planet turned peacefully, its scattered lights visible on the night side. "All systems ready," reported Engineering Officer Jiho. "Stealth systems functioning perfectly. Weapons and shields on standby." Admiral Park returned to her command chair. She sat straight, her uniform crisp and perfect. This would be humanity's true introduction to the galaxy. "Prepare for revelation," she ordered. "When they settle into orbit around Earth, We'll move out from Jupiter's shadow. Let's show them that humanity isn't what they expected. The Thermopylae waited, its enormous power held in check, ready to surprise the unsuspecting aliens who thought they were meeting a primitive world. Soon, the balance of power in the galaxy would shift forever. The 12 alien ships entered Earth orbit in perfect formation. They arranged themselves in a circle, each ship representing one of the Confederation's member species. Their hulls gleamed under the sun, showing off smooth lines and glowing parts. They wanted Earth to see their power and beauty. Senior Ambassador Tejo stood on the bridge of the lead ship. He wore his formal robes with all his medals and honors visible. His blue skin contrasted with the gold trim of his outfit. He had done this many times before, welcoming new species to the galactic community. "Is the transmission ready?" Tejo asked his crew. "Yes, Ambassador," replied Communications Officer Jun. "We can broadcast to all their satellites and relay stations." Tejo nodded. "Begin when ready. Use their main languages first." On the view screens, Earth turned slowly below them. Tejo studied the blue planet with its white clouds and green-brown continents. He had seen hundreds of worlds, but each new one still gave him a small thrill. "Look at their primitive satellites," said Science Officer Minji, pointing to the small objects orbiting the planet. "Their technology level matches our predictions. Early space exploration phase." Tejo smiled. "They will be amazed by what we have to offer them. Technology, medicine, knowledge of the galaxy, all in exchange for becoming part of our Confederation." The bridge crew nodded in agreement. This was how it always worked. New species were always grateful for Confederation guidance. The process was smooth and predictable. "Ambassador, we are broadcasting now," said Jun. On every television, radio, and internet connection on Earth, the same message played. "People of Earth, we come in peace as representatives of the Galactic Confederation. We wish to welcome you to the larger community of intelligent species. Please respond on this frequency to begin diplomatic relations." The message repeated in different languages. The aliens waited for Earth's excited response. Minutes passed. No reply came. "Perhaps they don't understand our transmission format," suggested Minji. "Try simpler codes," ordered Tejo. "Use basic mathematics. They must understand that." The aliens sent new messages. Still, Earth remained silent. "This is unusual," Tejo said, frowning. "Check their communication networks. Are they discussing our arrival?" Officer Jun worked at his console. Strange. Their networks show normal activity. They're talking about daily news, entertainment, weather, but nothing about us. Tejo's frown deepened. Impossible. They must see us in orbit. Scan their military bases. Are they preparing defensive measures? "No unusual activity detected," reported Defense Officer Hyojin. "Their military continues normal operations." An hour passed. Then two. The alien delegation grew increasingly confused. Earth continued its daily business, as if 12 massive spaceships weren't hovering above it. "Ambassador, should we try a more visible approach?" asked Captain Wujin. "Perhaps position ourselves over a major city." Tejo paced the bridge. In 2,000 years of space exploration, he had never encountered this response. New species always answered, with fear, excitement, or curiosity. But they always answered. "Move our ships over their largest city," Tejo ordered. The alien fleet repositioned over Tokyo. Their massive shadows fell across the sprawling metropolis. Surely now the humans would respond. Still nothing. "This doesn't make sense," muttered Tejo. "Scan deeper. There must be some reaction." Officer Minji conducted more detailed scans. "Ambassador, I'm detecting strange energy patterns from their planet. It's like they're using technology to appear less advanced than they are." Tejo stopped pacing. "What? That's not possible. Why would a species hide their advancement?" "I don't know, but these readings suggest they have energy management systems beyond what we can see." The bridge fell silent as this information sank in. "Could this be a trap?" whispered Captain Woojin. Before Tahoe could answer, Officer Hyojin shouted, "Massive energy surge detected near Jupiter." All eyes turned to the view screen. The gas giant Jupiter hung in the distance, its swirling storms visible even from Earth orbit. "What kind of energy?" demanded Tahoe. "Unknown type. Our sensors can't classify it," Hyojin replied, her voice shaking. "But it's powerful. More powerful than anything in our fleet." Tahoe felt a chill run down his spine. In all his years of first contact missions, he had never felt truly out of control. Until now. "Confederation fleet," came a calm human voice over their communication system, speaking perfect galactic standard. "Please maintain your position. The United Earth delegation will be joining you shortly." The aliens looked at each other in shock. How did humans know their language? And what was coming from Jupiter? The silence of Earth suddenly made terrible sense. The humans hadn't been ignoring them. They had been waiting. The space near Jupiter rippled and bent. Stars behind the distortion shifted position, as if seen through water. The aliens watched with growing fear as their instruments showed impossible readings. "What is happening?" Tahoe demanded, his voice rising. The tactical screen showed energy levels climbing beyond anything their sensors could properly measure. The distortion grew larger. "It's some kind of cloaking technology," said Science Officer Minji, her fingers flying across the control panel, "but far more advanced than ours." Then it appeared, first as a dark shape against Jupiter's swirling clouds, then fully visible as its stealth field dropped. The human ship was enormous, a mountain of metal and energy that made the alien vessels look like toys. "By the ancestors," whispered Captain Woojin. It's bigger than our largest space station." The UES Thermopylae moved toward them. Despite its massive size, it accelerated with graceful speed. The ship was dark gray with blue energy pulses flowing along its hull. Weapon systems dotted its surface, more firepower than the entire Confederation fleet combined. Alarms blared across all 12 alien ships. Red lights flashed on control panels. Warning messages appeared on screens. "Our shields are being scanned," reported Defense Officer Hyojin, her voice shaking. "They're penetrating all our systems." Tahoe gripped his command chair. This couldn't be happening. Earth was supposed to be a primitive world. Humans were supposed to be simple beings taking their first steps into space. "Block their scans," he ordered. "I can't," Hyojin replied. "Our countermeasures do nothing. It's like they know all our security protocols." On the main screen, the human battleship grew larger as it approached. Its true size became clear as it neared Earth orbit. The ship was nearly 2 miles long, with engines that glowed with blue-white energy. "It's impossible for them to build something that size," Tahoe said. "Our intelligence reports showed no large-scale space construction." "They must have hidden facilities," Captain Woojin suggested, "perhaps on their moon or in asteroid belts." The human ship slowed as it reached them. It positioned itself directly above the alien fleet. Its shadow fell across their vessels, blocking the sun and casting them in darkness. "We are being hailed," announced Communications Officer June. "They're broadcasting on all our frequencies simultaneously." "How do they know our communication protocols?" Tahoe asked, but no one had an answer. "Put it on screen," he ordered. The view screen activated, showing the human female in a dark uniform with silver and gold markings. She stood straight, her hands behind her back. The bridge around her was spacious and advanced, with crew members working at various stations. "Confederation delegation, this is Admiral Ju Park of the United Earth Space Force. Welcome to our solar system. We've been expecting you." Her words were in perfect galactic standard. No translation errors, no hesitation. "How is this possible?" whispered Tahoe. "They shouldn't even know we exist, let alone speak our language." Admiral Park continued, "We detected your exploration vessels 23 years ago. Since then, we've been studying your technology, languages, and culture. We decided it would be best to prepare thoroughly before making our presence known. Tahoe tried to regain his composure. He smoothed his formal robes and stepped forward. Admiral Park, I am Senior Ambassador Tahoe of the Galactic Confederation. We came in peace to welcome your species into the larger galactic community. But I must express surprise at your level of advancement. Admiral Park smiled slightly. Yes, I imagine our appearance is unexpected. Your scans of Earth were quite thorough, but they only saw what we allowed them to see. You deliberately concealed your technology, Tahoe asked. We felt it prudent, Park replied. In our history, when technologically advanced societies met less developed ones, the results were rarely favorable for the latter. We wanted to meet as equals. Behind Admiral Park, tactical displays showed detailed schematics of the alien ships, their engines, weapons, shield systems. The humans had analyzed everything. Your ship is impressive, Tahoe said, trying to sound diplomatic. We had no idea humans had achieved such advancement. The Thermopylae is just one of 7 such vessels, Park replied casually. The others are nearing completion. The alien crew exchanged worried glances. One such ship could challenge their fleet. 7 would make humans the dominant military force in this sector of the galaxy. Perhaps, Admiral Park continued, we should meet to discuss proper diplomatic relations. Would your delegation be willing to come aboard the Thermopylae? It wasn't really a question. Tahoe knew that refusing would show weakness. We would be honored, he replied, hoping his voice didn't betray his fear. As the communication ended, Tahoe turned to his stunned crew. What had begun as a routine first contact mission had turned into something unprecedented. The humans weren't going to join the Confederation as junior members. They were announcing their arrival as a major power. Prepare a shuttle, Tahoe ordered quietly, and update Confederation headquarters immediately. Everything has changed. The alien delegation stepped off their shuttle into the human battleship. Tahoe led the group, trying to look confident. Inside, the Thermopylae was even more impressive than it appeared from outside. Wide corridors stretched before them, lit by soft blue light. The walls hummed with energy. Tahoe could feel the power flowing through the ship. It made his skin tingle. Human guards lined the path. They wore black armor that enhanced their size and strength. Their faces were hidden behind dark visors. They stood perfectly still as the aliens passed. This way, Ambassador, said their guide, a human female named Jisoo. She wore a simple blue uniform with silver markings. Admiral Park is waiting in the conference room. As they walked, Tahoe noticed how the humans had built their ship. There were no wasted spaces. Every panel and section served a purpose. The design was both beautiful and practical. How long did it take to build this vessel? Asked Minji, the science officer. The Thermopylae took 7 years to complete, Jisoo replied. It's our first full-size battleship. Tahoe exchanged worried glances with his team. 7 years was incredibly fast for a ship this size. The Confederation's largest vessels took decades to build. They entered an elevator that moved not just up and down, but sideways as well. When the doors opened, they walked into a large conference room with a view of Earth through massive windows. Admiral Park stood as they entered. Beside her were humans in different uniforms, some military, others clearly scientists or diplomats. They all looked calm and prepared. Welcome aboard the Thermopylae, Park said. Please be seated. The conference table was a large circle with the Earth delegation on one side and spaces for the aliens on the other. As they sat down, the center of the table lit up with a 3-dimensional map of the solar system. Before we begin formal talks, Park said, I thought you might appreciate seeing the full extent of our presence in this system. The hologram zoomed in on Mars. It showed domed cities and underground facilities. Humans had transformed large areas of the red planet. Our Mars colony has a population of 30,000, Park explained. The image shifted to Jupiter's moon Europa. Under its icy surface, humans had built habitats near the subsurface ocean. Europa Research Station, mostly scientists studying the local life forms. Next came Saturn's moon Titan, with its methane lakes and human facilities harvesting resources. Titan Industrial Complex, our primary shipyard, is located there. Tahoe tried to hide his shock. The aliens had seen none of this in their scans. Your scans of our planet missed quite a bit, Park said with a small smile. We detected your exploration ships 23 years ago and decided to accelerate certain research programs. Tahoe took a deep breath. He needed to regain control of this meeting. Admiral, the Confederation represents 12 species who have achieved harmony through shared governance. We typically guide developing worlds through a century-long integration process. Park's smile remained. That's generous. However, Earth has its own protocols for first contact. We prefer to meet as equals from the start. A human male stepped forward. He wore a white lab coat with the name Dr. Min-Ho Kim on it. We've analyzed your propulsion systems, Dr. Kim said. Quite elegant, but we took a different approach. The hologram changed to show the inner workings of the Thermopila's engines. At its core was a swirling dark sphere contained within rings of energy. A controlled singularity, Dr. Kim explained. What you might call a small black hole. We use it to bend space-time rather than pushing against it. The alien engineers in the delegation leaned forward, their eyes wide with disbelief. The technology they were seeing should be impossible for a species this young. This is beyond anything in the Confederation, whispered one alien engineer to Tahoe. Even our oldest member species hasn't achieved this. Tahoe struggled to keep his voice steady. Admiral Park, this technology is remarkable. May I ask how you developed it so quickly? Park nodded to another scientist who stepped forward. When we observed your ships, the scientist explained, we noticed they used conventional physics. We decided to try a different path. Instead of advancing step by step like your species did, we made a conceptual leap. What my colleague means, Dr. Kim added, is that sometimes being new to a field allows fresh thinking. We weren't limited by established theories. Tahoe looked around the room at the calm, confident humans. They weren't acting superior or threatening. They were simply showing what they had accomplished. And what do you want from the Confederation? Tahoe finally asked. Admiral Park leaned forward. Friendship, trade, cultural exchange, the usual benefits of diplomacy. But as equals, not as students. The message was clear. Humans would not be joining the Confederation as a junior member. They were announcing their arrival as a major power in the galaxy. I believe, Park continued, this could be the beginning of a productive relationship for all our peoples. Tahoe nodded slowly, already thinking about how he would explain this to the Confederation Council. Everything about their approach to Earth would need to change. The Grand Hall of the Confederation Council buzzed with worried voices. Representatives from all 12 species gathered in the tiered circular chamber. Emergency lights pulsed along the walls, signaling the serious nature of this meeting. Order, order, called Head Counselor Juno, his voice booming through the hall. The room gradually fell silent. You have all received the report from Ambassador Teo about the humans. Junho continued. We must decide how to respond. The main screen showed images of the Thermopylae. Its massive dark hull made even the largest Confederation warships look small by comparison. This cannot stand, shouted Counselor Doyen, slamming his fist on the table. These humans hide their true nature, build superweapons, and now they refuse to join our Confederation. We should act now, before they build more ships. Murmurs of agreement spread through some sections of the hall. Ambassador Tejo stepped forward. He had just returned from Earth and looked tired but calm. I understand your fear, he said, but I must caution against any military action. Their technology is beyond ours in key areas. He touched a control panel, and the screen changed to show technical data on the human ships. One Thermopylae-class vessel could likely defeat our combined defense fleet, and they have 6 more nearly finished. The council chamber grew very quiet. More importantly, Tahoe added. The humans have shown no aggression. They revealed their power but made no threats. They simply wish to be treated as equals. Counselor Jaya, known for her wisdom, spoke next. Perhaps we should consider what this means for the Confederation. For 2,000 years, we have been the most advanced group in this part of the galaxy. We are not used to meeting a species that can match or exceed us. Head Counselor Chino nodded slowly. What do you suggest? Offer them full membership immediately, said Jaya. Skip the century-long integration process. Make them equals from the start. The council debated for 3 days. In the end, they voted to offer Earth immediate full membership, something never done before in Confederation history. Tahoe delivered the offer personally, traveling back to Earth aboard a special diplomatic vessel. Admiral Park welcomed him to the United Earth Government building in Geneva. The Confederation is honored to invite Earth to join as a full member, with all rights and privileges, Tahoe announced formally. This special status recognizes humanity's remarkable achievements. Admiral Park listened politely. When Tahoe finished, she smiled gently. We appreciate the offer, Ambassador. Truly, but Earth must respectfully decline. Tahoe blinked in surprise. Decline? But this is unprecedented. No species has ever been offered immediate full membership. We understand, Park replied, and we value your goodwill. However, we prefer to propose an alternative, a mutual defense and trade agreement between equals, not as members and leaders, but as independent allies. Later, as they walked through the gardens outside the building, Park explained further. We don't seek dominance, she said, watching birds fly overhead. But neither will we be subordinate. Humanity has survived countless near extinctions on our violent homeworld. That experience has taught us to be prepared, but also to value peace when it can be maintained between equals. Tahoe considered her words carefully. Your species is unusual, Admiral. Most races we encounter are eager to join the Confederation. Perhaps because you find them when they're still developing, Park suggested. We had the advantage of seeing you first. After a week of negotiations, the treaty was signed. Humans would remain independent but would trade with Confederation worlds. They would share some technologies but keep others private. They would help defend Confederation worlds if needed, but would not join the Confederation military structure. When it was time for the delegation to leave, the Thermopylae escorted them to the edge of the solar system. Admiral Park invited Tahoe to the bridge for a final conversation. I hope this is the beginning of a long friendship between our peoples, she said. Tahoe nodded. I believe it will be. You have changed how the Confederation sees the galaxy. We had grown too comfortable in our position. As the alien ships prepared to jump to faster-than-light travel, Tahoe stood on his vessel's observation deck. He watched the massive human battleship against the backdrop of stars. The Confederation had expected to find a simple, developing world. Instead, they found equals, perhaps even superiors in some ways. The galaxy had suddenly become a more complex place, and as his ship accelerated away from the solar system, Tahoe realized something surprising. For the first time in centuries of diplomatic work, he felt truly excited about the future. Humans would change everything. And perhaps that was exactly what the galaxy needed.